The outgoing Volvo XC90 was one of the Swedish brand's biggest sellers in most crucial markets around the world, and this all-new XC90 is the first to be wholly produced under new Chinese owner Geely. Add to that, the platform that underpins the XC90 will be crucial to future model development, and it's fair to say that this all-new XC90 is a pretty important car for Volvo. Now, in the 70s and 80s, Volvo was known for one thing above and beyond all others. No, it wasn't safety, it was boxy, ugly styling. Now, the XC90 might be boxy and it's big, but Volvo's managed to inject a sense of style into the new design while keeping it quintessentially XC90. Volvo's taken a design favourite and made it look like an entirely new vehicle despite still looking like an XC90. The front-end styling is definitely evolutionary rather than revolutionary. Part of that secret is the large front grille, which looks very much like a signature Volvo styling cue, but still looks different from the outgoing model. Looking down the flank, you can see the pronounced hip line, and the exceptionally tall taillights hark back to the outgoing XC90 and have been refreshed for this new model. Now, I've printed out the specification list for the XC90 because, as you'd expect with a vehicle that costs this much money, there's plenty of standard kit. Now, first, for some of the things that we do like. Our starting price for this vehicle is $89,950 plus on-road costs. The economical 2-litre diesel and the 8-speed automatic gearbox, that's fantastic. Safety, there's heaps of standard kit that makes the Volvo a fantastic family car. Some of those highlights are city safety, lane departure warning, all that stuff's fantastic. 12.3-inch display here and the touchscreen here that looks like a small iPad, absolutely fantastic, visible in any light. Let's get to some of the things that we don't like so much. Metallic paint for $1,750. That's a little bit on the expensive side, but that's a personal choice. Linear walnut decor inlays for $700. No thanks, I wouldn't be ticking that box. This vehicle standard gets 19-inch alloys. Our test vehicle's got 20-inch alloy wheels, $1,825. I personally like them, so I'd probably tick that box. Heated front seats, $375. Volvo, are you serious? A nearly $90,000 car and you want to charge $375 for heated seats? Can't cop that, I'm sorry. Panoramic sunroof with power operation, $2,950. Little bit on the expensive side, I think personally. I wouldn't tick that box. Tinted rear glass, $850. Again, Volvo, come on, $850. Let's make that standard in a $90,000 car. Drive mode personal settings, $160. Let's make that standard as well. The end result of all those options is that our Volvo here, as tested, is $98,860 plus on-road costs. So as you can see, for a vehicle that's give or take $100,000, you'd like to see a few more of those options standard. Now, one of the things Volvo's renowned for is stitching together a premium interior. This new XC90, absolutely no difference. It's a beautifully designed and laid out cabin. The driver's compartment itself is a proper luxury SUV cockpit. The gauges, the central controls, the steering wheel mounted controls, all of the major connections between driver and car are simple, easy to understand and beautifully laid out, and whichever way you look at it, the driver's seat in an XC90 is a great place to be. Now, the premium feeling of quality extends to the second row. You have your own air conditioning controls and outlets, 12-volt power socket, but the main thing back here is the amount of room. That seat is in my driving position, and look how much knee room I still have. Plus, the backrests are adjustable. I've got them all the way back, but you can lift them forward to get comfortable. Whichever way you look at it, the Volvo is an excellent family SUV. Now, believe it or not, the comfort actually extends to this third row. First of all, I've got proper seats, so I'm actually comfortable. I've got plenty of room. Incredibly, I've got enough headroom and enough shoulder room to be comfortable back here. I've got air conditioning vents, I've got cup holders and storage, and if you've got a family with more than 3 kids, this is a proper 7-seat SUV. With the third row in use, there's 451 litres of storage space. Fold that third row flat into the floor and you get a whopping 1,102 litres of boot space, up 487 litres from the old model. While the XC90 is not the sportiest SUV in the segment, there's nothing wrong with the 2-litre turbo diesel and 8-speed automatic transmission either. It gets up to city speeds easily, it's a clever combination, and most importantly, it's smooth and there's no jerkiness or anything to detract from the luxury feeling inside the car. The same can't quite be said for the suspension system. Our test vehicle here has got the steel coil springs, not the optional air suspension. It's also got a very annoying emergency braking system that keeps deciding it needs to stop for me. Back to the suspension, I think the air suspension is actually going to be more competent. The steel coil springs can jar a little bit around town, especially where there are sharper bumps, and you can feel it in all 3 rows of the car. One of the criticisms of the outgoing XC90 was the steering, specifically the awful turning circle. Now that's a problem for family buyers who need to drop the kids off at school, get in and out of tight parking spots and underground parking spaces. The steering itself feels better, it's sharper, it's more precise, and the car's better able to do 3-point turns in tighter areas where it's going to be a problem. Now the XC90 is priced to be smack bang in the middle of the battle with the BMW X5, the Audi Q7 and the Mercedes-Benz GLE. The XC90 is not the most dynamic or exciting SUV in the segment to drive, but its family-centric interior and beautifully designed layout ensure that it's an SUV that the family buyer should take a good look at.